Lynette Shepard of Lifetime magazine in April 2002 asked, "Have you ever wished you had a guidebook to the people in your life that could help you understand them? Do you sometimes wonder what makes your coworker tick, what your partner or child is really feeling, or even why you are the way you are?" A guide of this sort does exist. It's called the Enneagram. The Enneagram is a personality test, and it has 9 different types, and each type tells you something about yourself. So I think everyone should learn about the Enneagram, take the test, and ponder their type and their family, friend, coworkers types as well. As I said before, there are 9 different types. There's types 1 through 9. Rezin Hussein of the Art and Wellbeing blog in 2017 said, "The 9 types are the reformer, the helper, the achiever, the individualist, the investigator, the loyalist, the enthusiast, the challenger, and the peacemaker." And to go along with each of these type names, there are characteristics that each type has typically. So I'm just going to read one out of each of the lists of the different types. So type 1 is purposeful, type 2 is generous, type 3 is driven, type 4 is expressive, type 5 is perceptive, type 6 is responsible, type 7 is spontaneous, type 8 is powerful, and type 9 is agreeable. Now obviously, each type 2 isn't going to be the same as another type 2, and each type 3 isn't going to be the same as another type 3, and so on and so forth. But every type has a mold that most people fit. So type 2 is generous, and most type 2s are generous with their time and whatever else they need. Lily Ewan of Trudy blog in July 2019 wrote, "The 9 types are divided into 3 triads that split the system into 3. So the gut, people who are motivated by instincts are also motivated by rage, and those are the types 8, 9, and 1. People who are more motivated by heart are motivated by shame, and those types are 2, 3, and 4. And people who think with their heads are motivated by fear, so that's 5, 6, and 7. But the Enneagram tells us more than just those things. It tells us people's motivations, their fears, their goals, and the why of how they think the way that they think, and why they act the way that they act. So each type has different goals or things that they're motivated by. So for example, I am a type 2. I am known as the helper from the website that I looked at, and I am motivated by shame. And this stems from childhood. Most people's motivations stem from their childhood and what they learned to do around their family and friends. I'm motivated by shame because when I was younger, I thought people were looking at me constantly, and I felt shameful if I didn't act the way that I thought I was supposed to act. And that fear still stems to this day. David Daniels of the Journal of Adult Development in January 2018 wrote, "A rapidly growing number of working professionals, academic communities, and businesses have applied the Enneagram personality system of 9 types to enhance psychological growth in their personal and professional lives." So the Enneagram tells us how people like to be treated. It tells us how people like to be treated in their workplace, in their family, with their friends. And because each type is motivated by different things, they often like to be treated differently. In my audience analysis, someone said that they don't like personality tests because it puts you in a box. And I'm here to tell you that personality tests are not boxes, they're tools. They're tools to help us look inside ourselves better, to look at other people better. For example, I didn't realize that I was motivated by shame until I took this test, and then everything just clicked together. And I realized that if I wanted to live my life differently, I had to stop living that way. And I want to act out of kindness for other people, not because I am ashamed if I don't, but that I feel good if I do. So, Keenan Tustin of Kunalrab Medical in 2019 said, "The Enneagram, which is an important tool for improving relationships with family, friends, and coworkers, is the study of the 9 basic types of people." When I first heard of this test, I took it, and I got the result of a type 2, and then I made my whole family take it. So my dad is a type 8, my mom and my sister are type 1s, and my brother is a type 3. So we all get along pretty well. I did argue a lot with my dad, and we still do butt heads a little bit. But when he took this test, I read more on type 8s, and I realized that just because he doesn't act the same way that I do, out of love for other people, that doesn't mean that he doesn't love them. Because he acts more out of protective love than empathetic love like I do. And that's okay, we all show love in different ways. And I learned that it's okay to be different. Another thing that I learned when I first took this test was there is a musician, and he is called Sleeping at Last, and he wrote songs for each of the 9 types of the Enneagram. And in these songs, he put in sounds, and he did different instruments for each one, and he did different lyrics for each one, obviously. But he also has a podcast where he explains that only people who are a type 2 performed in the type 2 song, and he asked all of his type 2 friends and family to send sounds, random little sounds that they would do throughout the day, and he incorporated them into the song. So, for example, at the end of the type 2 song, there's the sound of someone making a bed for someone who is sick, and that is just really important to me because I am very service-oriented, but if you're type 3, then the type 3 song will mean something different to you than the type 2 song will. So I just wanted to share this song, just a little snippet.
Bipolar depression. It's a dark,
Sorry,
blurry
it's gonna
place.
play an ad.
This is art inspired by real.
Sweetheart, you look a little tired. When did you last eat? Come in and make yourself right at home. Stay as long as you need. Tell me if something wrong, if something's wrong, you can call on me. You know I'll take my heart clean apart if it helps yours beat.
Alright, so that was just a little snippet of the song. It starts out with, "Sweetheart, you look a little tired, when did you last eat?" And that's something that I would say to other people and something that I want other people to say to me. So, to conclude, I would just like to say that the Enneagram is an important tool to help us look inside ourselves and know ourselves better and to know other people better. And I think everyone should take the chance to learn more about this test, take the test, and really analyze the results of that you got and your friends and family and your coworkers got so that you can learn how to treat them how they want to be treated.